Hello everyone. So in this episode of Unreal Engine Survival Series, I'm going to show you how to create this requester window. So when I press exit, do you really exit the game? We get this dialog box which says, do you really want to quit? If I press no, it will simply go back to the the main menu. If I press yes, the game will be stopped, and since I am in the editor, it will just stop the game. Stop playing the game. If I am in a build, it will close the window. Here is the preview again. Do you really want to quit? If I press no, nothing happens. If I press yes, it stops playing the game. Right. And I'm going to make this requester window in such a way that we will be able to use the same requester for different purposes. For example, if I trying to apply some different graphic settings, we can use this as a requester, and when I press yes, in that case it will use whatever the event that we have bind to the event dispatcher associated with this yes. And for the no, it will execute whatever the event dispatcher that is associated with the no button. Right. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support. Right, so at the moment in the menu system we have developed, we have only game button, settings button and exit button, and when I press on the game button, what it does is it directly starts the game from the last save checkpoint. So let's work on the exit button now. So basically what it needs to do is when I press exit, we should give like a confirmation window like are you sure, and yes and no. So when I press yes, the game should be closed. Right, let's see how to do that. Okay, first let me open the UI and main menu widget. Right, I think yeah, it would be better to have a separate widget for a requester dialog box. So let me create one. Add user interface widget blueprint. Oh wait, let me check this retry. No, this is a unique situation. Yeah, let's create one. Jet blueprint wdg request. Okay, so first I'll add a button, and on the button I need a text. This should be basically like a yes no type. I'll set the size to 200 by 50. Text will be automatically already centered. I'll center here as well and change the font to this font that I'm using everywhere, btn. Yes, and let me duplicate this, btn no. So basically this one should say yes, and this one should say no, the text. Let me select these both buttons and wrap it with the horizontal box. now both buttons should be inside the horizontal box. Let's bring the horizontal box into the middle of the screen. Alignment I'll set to 0.5, position 0, 0. Size I'll say 500, no 50. Okay, and buttons, let's set it to fill and horizontally centered, vertically also centered. Right, I think it would be better if these buttons have some width, so I'll select the text component and set min desired width to 200. Okay, that's better. Again, I think I should increase the size of the horizontal box. Let's set 1000. Okay, and now I need another box which says "Are you sure?" text. So let's add a text. This should be same font. I'll make it a little larger and centered. Are you sure? Don't need it. Okay, and now this should be directly above these two buttons. So how do we make this look like a dialog box? Right, let's select this one and wrap with a vertical box, and I'll put this horizontal box also inside the vertical box. Right, now I'll set the size of the vertical box. Let me center it first. 2000 by 500. 300. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, and I'll make these texts are not clear. I select both text and set the color to black. Right, are you sure? I need a question mark. Okay, right, what if I select this both text to fill? Okay, that seems better, and this one I'll align it vertically centered. Yeah, alright, this is okay. Right, now if I wrap this vertical box with the border, we can have some color like this. So I'll make the color black and make it partially transparent. Is that good? What if I use some another color? No, let's use black. 0.9. 0.8.7. right? So this is the dialog box, and I'll add another border that fully covers this entire canvas panel, and I'll set it to partially transparent in black, like 0.2. So when we add this on top of some other UI elements, this will be highlighted properly. Okay, so now first let me add this button, right? And then the next part is events. So let me go to the event graph, and I need to define what should happen when I press yes and what should happen when I press no. Right, first let me select the btn yes and on clicked, and btn no and on clicked. So basically I need to make this requester window disappear in both cases, for yes and for no. That is only for the moment. Later on we will bind some events that defines what should happen when I press yes or no. So first remove from parent. That's all. Alright, now when I press this exit button, what I need to happen is bring up the requester. So for that, first I need to check if I have a requester. So let's create a function init requester window. No, get requester. Right here, let's create widget in the type of requester and promote it to a variable. I'll call it requester, and we should only create it if we don't have a valid requester. So it's valid. If we don't have a valid requester, create one, otherwise just return the existing requester. Oh, wait a minute, I defined this part in the main menu. Well, let me copy this and delete, because I need to define this in the HUD itself, because from the HUD we will need to reference the requesters a lot of time through the HUD. So first I'll add, let me open the BPI, and here let's add a function get requester, and as the output type I'll set WDG requester object reference. Okay, now in the HUD survival I can implement get requester. Function is there. Let me paste that previous project, previous code. Right, Okay, now let me create the variable. Great. Now what? Okay, now in the main menu, when you press on the btn exit, we can get player controller or get HUD, get requester, and add to viewport. Or we can simply create another function to show requester, something like show requester, but here I'll just do add to viewport. See, now we got this. Are you sure? Yes. Well, both just closes the window, doesn't do anything else. Okay, let me rename this blueprint interface output instead of new parameter to requester. Right, now I have to compile again, do it like this. Okay, right. Okay, now so I need this requester to be a dynamic object. That means for example, when I try to exit the game, if I press yes, it should exit the game, and when I press no, it should just nothing and go back to the previous window. So if I, let's say, like we are trying to apply some graphic settings, when I get this requester window, if I press yes, it should basically apply the graphic settings. So this, what should happens if I press this yes, should be a dynamic event. So how do we do that? So basically, in order to make that happen, I'll create an event dispatcher. So this dispatch yes, and another one dispatch no. Okay, and when I press the button yes, I'll just call dispatch yes, and when I press the button no, I'll call dispatch no. Okay, now in the main menu, I have a reference to this get requester. Here I'll call bind event. No, first I'll unbind all events from dispatch yes and dispatch no. But I think it would be better if I have a function for that. Yes, let's add a function. Clear dispatchers. And bind all, because wait, I think it would be much easier if I just cleared the dispatchers at the moment when I get the request. Unbind all events from dispatch no and dispatch yes. Okay, now both dispatches are cleared here. Before I get the reference. Sorry. Unbind all events from dispatches. The reason to do this is, let's say when I try to, if I have used this requester in multiple places, first we need to clear if we have already set any dispatches. Then when I press the yes button, it will try to call multiple events already bound to this dispatcher. Right. Now in the main menu, bind event to dispatch. Yes, for the dispatch now we don't really have any event that we need to bind. And here for the event, oh wait, not like that. Let's add an event, exit. Okay, right, now I write the event. So basically, how do I exit the game? Yeah, I'll just call quit game. Okay, now shall we try this? Exit, yes. See, the game is closed in the editor. Game is basically stopped in the editor. Exit. If I press no, nothing happens. Yes, game is closed in the or stopped in the editor. If we have a build, it will be closed. So yeah, that's it. So I know you think that you will think that I did some make it unnecessarily complicated instead of just defining the quit logic here. I set up these dispatches, but the reason is now that we can use this same requester window for all the requesters. So that's the reason I wanted to set up it that way, even though it takes some extra steps. This will be handy in future. So one more thing, let's set up a way to initialize this text with whatever we need. So I'll add a custom event show requester. So here let me set this as a variable text description. Okay. Right, set text and as the input text I'll promote it as a parameter. Yeah, then after that I'll call add to viewport. So this will be automatically shown when I call this show requester. And as the input text default value, I'll give this are you sure. Right, now in the main menu, instead of calling add to viewport, I'll call show request. Exit game. Are you sure? Just to show how it works. Now, exit game. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. That's it, and I'm going to stop this episode right here. Okay, and the project files will be available for the download through Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.